Boosting mental focus during anatomy revision. Hi, I'm Hayley from Parallel Coaching, and in today's training we're going to explore how you can boost your mental focus in preparation for your anatomy exam so you can pass with confidence. And today I've got 4 different strategies that I'm going to share with you so that you can really start to take a grip of your anatomy revision and you can really make sure that you're much more focused. Now, as a trainee fitness professional, it's really important that you complete your anatomy exam and pass it, obviously in order to qualify, but also in terms of the knowledge that you need when working with clients. So you want to make sure that the anatomy revision that you're doing actually takes hold in your brain and that you feel like you're competent and confident to use that knowledge. However, what we find is that many FITPROs and trainee FITPROs struggle in their anatomy revision, mostly because they haven't quite got to grips with how to hold their mental focus during the revision process. So although they know that learning anatomy is valuable, although they know that they want to work in fitness and they need this part of their revision moving forwards, they also get stuck in the process of understanding how to learn and revise and take on board new information. And as a result, it kind of ends up in a place whereby you get distracted easily, you put off revision, you get to the point whereby you have a lack of engagement. It also might show up as being easily distracted and daydreaming. It could be that you're not remembering or recalling details very easily. It could be that you lose your train of thought, that you're careless and make careless mistakes at times, or it could be that you're just restless and agitated. All of these are signs that your mental focus during your revision sessions aren't quite in the place that they could be. But these 4 strategies are going to really help you moving forwards. So let's start off with the very first one of these. The first strategy I want to share with you is to set a timer in your revision sessions. Now, when you're setting a timer, it allows you to set a clear parameter of the time that you want to be focused for. And there's a technique called the Pomodoro technique, whereby you have 25 minutes of study and then 5 minutes of a break. Now, this is a really good solution, especially if you find that you get yourself very easily distracted or you end up doing everything else in the house other than your revision. And this is a really good technique for keeping that focus strong for 25 minutes. So you set a timer, and you might also put your phone on airplane mode during this, or silence some of your apps, whatever you need to do. Maybe even put your phone in a different room. Either way, set a timer so that you're literally just focusing on your revision for 25 solid minutes. Then after that 25 minutes, it's free for all on your mental focus. You can do anything you like, but I do advise you go and break it up. Do something different. That could be going up the stairs to go to the toilet. It could be checking your Facebook or your Instagram. It could be that you want to do a little bit of scrolling. It could be that you want to go and walk the dog for 5 minutes. Whatever it is, it's about going and changing your state. So you want to go and do something else that allows your brain to be stimulated in a totally different way so that you can then come back, set your timer for another 25 minutes. And then you can continue again. Now, this is really good if you've got a chunk of time whereby you want to study for, let's just say, 3 hours on a Saturday, but you know that that's going to be a long period of time and this will hold your focus. So rather than having like 5 minutes where you were really productive and the rest of the time you were basically avoiding revision, it keeps your focus very strong and very structured. So that's tip number 1, is to set a timer whenever you're doing your revision sessions. Tip number 2 is to set a goal or objective for every single session that you do. Now, this is important, and if you're doing the Pomodoro technique, you might also do this as for each chunk that you are revising. Because most people, when they go to learn or revise, they basically pick up their manual or they start learning through their tutorials or their e-learning, and they just try and get through as much as they can in one period of time. Or if you're reading through a book, you basically go through as many chapters as you can possibly get to, rather than saying, right, the aim of this session is to learn the heart and circulatory system, or the aim of this session is to watch the first 15 minutes of this video tutorial, or the aim of this session is to learn 5 origins and insertions of muscles. Make it really clear what your aim and objective is for that session. This definitely keeps you focused because you're actually focusing on the outcome of what you want to learn, and that's easy to test yourself at the very end of that session as well. Or you can do it so that you have a really clear way of being able to bring all this knowledge together And you can basically then have it so that you've got a nice sort of catalogue of revision sessions whereby you're building up all the modules that you're doing inside your session. Like I say, you can repeat, you can test your knowledge, you can get to the point whereby you've built everything up with really clear focus. So setting an objective is a really important secondary strategy to help boost that mental focus. Tip number 3 is to use video. Now, most of us will happily watch a video, a film, to watch the TV. We are stimulated by things that allow us to use both visual and audio as a way of learning. In fact, you're learning here on YouTube now or on our podcast. And this is a really good way of you being able to learn information and allow it to see images and also to associate audio to that. So video tutorials are a very good way of learning. The other part of video tutorials is that it allows you to highlight out key points rather than being in a place whereby you're trying to read a section of a manual and in reading you're trying to remember every single word inside that paragraph. So mix it up and think about using video tutorials as your primary way of learning. This leads us on to strategy number 4, and strategy number 4 is about mixing it up. So if you are using video tutorials as your primary way of learning, also use things like audio. That could come from podcasts, it could come from downloadable versions of your video tutorials. Think about how you can set aside time to be able to learn via audio. And the good thing about audio is that you don't actually need to be sat at your desk in order to learn it. You could be out walking the dog, you could be driving, you could be cleaning, it doesn't matter. And it's a great way of getting repetition. Also, you could use things like acronyms and stories that allow you to break down the content and remember the highlight reel of the content rather than all of the fluffy filler words in between on your paragraphs. You're actually focusing on the actual content. And that's a great way of then turning that into what we call a one-pager, so that your note-taking is actually on one page and has all the highlights of it. So an acronym or a list or a story will jog your memory much better than trying to remember a full paragraph. Also, if you are mixing up your learning styles, reading is still a really good way of including a little bit more. So have your dominant style as maybe the videos, but include little chunks of reading so that you can break up and start learning from a different method. And then finally, mock questions are a great way of mixing it up. They help test your knowledge, they help you show what your strengths and what your weaknesses are, and they also allow you to kind of apply the knowledge that you've been learning and apply it into something relevant for your exam. Talking about mock questions, if you want to access 3 mock questions, then they are alongside the blog. So if you've not grabbed that already, just click the link and you'll go straight to the blog, and there are 3 mock questions that relate to today's content and help you prepare for your level 3 anatomy exam. They are our 4 strategies, so I'll recap them. You've got set a timer, set a goal, mix it up, and use video tutorials as your primary way of learning. So you have 4 different strategies that will really help you consolidate your mental focus. But if you're looking for more help with your level 3 anatomy exam or with your level 2 anatomy exam and you want to pass with confidence, potentially first time, then all you need to do is to click the link that is alongside this video and it will take you to our revision bootcamp. Our revision bootcamp is designed to help you pass with confidence and learn and recall in a way that helps hold your focus whilst you're studying. That brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to drop a little comment below and let me know what it is you've learned from today's session, that'd be fantastic. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.